we go again.
It's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's going on, bro?
I got a question for you.
What up?
Have you been following Megan Thee Stallion's recent Instagram activity?
Um, I have caught like a piece of it. Like I'm just now realizing that she, I guess, her and Glorilla started some trend or something. Well, more so Megan than anybody, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard the song. I've only seen the activity that you speak of.
The 2 hour activity?
I did not see the 2 hour.
Okay. Listen, bro, amazing, absolutely amazing. And I think that one thing I think that is interesting about it is that she's been reposting other girls and everything like that on her feed. But I think the thing that get me the most though, right? I saw some girl on TikTok said, fellas, I apologize because I never understood this fixation and fascination that y'all would have about just girls and dancing or just in general when you already have somebody. This girl said, listen, I have a whole man,
Hmm.
right? And I'm sitting here looking like, well, God dog, if I was a dude, I could totally see why this would be very appealing, right? She was like, and then she said, she said, it almost had me thinking like, do I swing this way a little bit? How impressed I am.
Yeah,
I said, yo, dad, I fell out laughing though, bro. Fell out laughing when I saw it, man.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, man.
Well, we got a lot to talk about, bro. You notice we just coming up off of WrestleMania weekend. We coming off the NCAA championships. It's so much going on, but let's
A
get back.
lot of stuff going on, man.
All right, bro. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Podcast of all the Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We're live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the hands up whenever your boys are just doing a thing. Ace Kennedy. We got a laundry list. Where you want to start, bro?
Let's just jump right into WrestleMania, bro. I'm too hyped.
Let's do it.
So,
Let's do it. Let's do
listen,
it.
first of all, did you watch WrestleMania?
I did. I did. Now I didn't watch every single match,
Yeah,
but I did watch.
the
Of
ones
course,
you
I
cared
watched the
about.
main. I watched the ones that I cared for. Yes.
So your favorite match was your favorite match has to be Gunther and Sami Zayn.
Listen, I'm not gonna even lie. I didn't hate it
Yeah.
as much as I hate him.
What is it about Gunther that you don't like, bro? Because he's like, go ahead.
He's so like this. He's so like okay. Here's what I don't like. Even the classic heel, right? The bad guy. I'm talking about before the Attitude Eras, right? I'm talking about the Iron Sheiks of the world, the honky tonk mans of the world, all of those guys. Like all of those dudes had like some like signature movement or something that was like, okay, you know what? They're bad guys, but they're athletically gifted to where they're talented, where they could just be a baby face, They're just heels for the sake of stories, telling a story. I get it. I think that Gunther, to me, his character is just so vanilla, right? I think that this whole ring general thing, I'm like, bro, how is you gonna be the ring general when you have the most mid moves ever? Listen, when I saw him go on the top ropes and do that splash, it looked how I thought he would look if he got on the top rope. And he reminds me of one of those old heels where Hulk Hogan never got on the top ropes, right? Like that far back. So I don't know, bro. I just don't. I'm just there's nothing about him. At least with Baron Corbin. He can talk on the mic, even though I hate him. His finish move is dope. And I can see as a big man, he can actually move. I just don't particularly care for him. With Gunther, bro, there is just nothing all about his boots look dope. I give him that. His boots look dope.
Yeah. Well, this is what's interesting to me. Um, do you like Cena?
I do like Cena.
So it's interesting to me that you say that Gunther has basic moves when Cena has pretty basic moves.
Yeah. Cena has more charisma. Cena has more explosive moves, the ones that he do. Like, I don't even know what Gunther's finishing move is. He might just finish you with a sleeper hold. That's how basic he is, though, bro. What is his finish?
I don't know because
That's my point. That you know what Cena's finishing is.
no. The difference though, right, is because Gunther came at a time in WWE when I stopped watching Raw. The reason why I know who he is because of the streak that he has, right? And I've seen a couple of indies matches with him. What I know a lot of people like, especially the actual competitors, like about him is his consistency. Like he's one of those you gonna get a hard hitting match, and it was something that WWE necessarily didn't have with like he when you hear people say that Nakamura is the king of the strong style, right? Where the strikes a little bit more harder. To me, Gunther would fit better with AEW with the way he wrestles. And so with that, like he doesn't do the more bigger moves, but the only now the thing I do know about Gunther though, his chops, something is serious.
That's all I ever hear. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all I hear, bro. I
So
don't
what
know, man. I don't know.
what was your favorite part about WrestleMania then?
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. It's probably Jay Cargill, bro. Now listen, bro. Every time I see her, I'm just reminded of how fine she is, bro. She is so fine, bro. Like this is gonna sound very creepy coming from a married guy. And I think, like usually when I see somebody who have a female with a ripped up six pack, I just be like, you know what? That's just a little manly to me, though, bro. Her stomach makes you want to lick her stomach to me, though, bro. Every time I see her stomach in pictures, whatever, it makes you want to lick her abs, almost like I think I remember Janet Jackson having a scene where she licked some dude's stomach. Like she has that. Like she is, and then listen, her color, her brown color, flawless. Like I'm talking about her skin complexion, flawless. She seems like for her to be a wrestler, she doesn't have a single scar on her body that I've ever seen. Like she is absolutely perfect. Like I'm talking about if I've ever seen any person in life that I thought no flaws. She is actually it though. So even seeing her for 5 minutes, I thought that it was incredible. Now, what I liked about seeing her is the fact that I do like in this particular with the grand stage of WrestleMania that I like seeing her with Bianca Belair and with Naomi only because I don't think that a lot of the black wrestlers, female wrestlers, get as much shine. So for them to wrestle kind of as this little faction for the time being, I think that that's pretty dope.
Well, look, I'll give you my favorite part here in just a minute because you brought up something that I'm interested in. So there was a shift in WrestleMania this particular time because this is like the Paul Levesque era, the Triple H era. Like we are in it. There's no Vince McMahon whatsoever. Like they came out and said it at least 17 times alone. This is a new era. Like we had the Attitude era, we had the PG era. Like we are definitely in Triple H's domain. This was all Triple H. Even though Bruce Pritchard came out there, which we'll kind of get into a little bit later. Like this was a Triple H production, which was cool because even Stephanie came out there, which the reason why I mentioned Bruce Pritchard and Stephanie is because of the fact that them two are very linked to Vince McMahon in the fact that Stephanie was kind of named in the lawsuit as like officer number 3 or something like that. But she came on out there and she even was like, nah, Triple H, my husband is running it. Like this is all him. So
Smart.
yeah, and all the wrestlers seemed very happy about it because they did stuff that was very against what Vince McMahon normally typically would do. Like there hasn't been a national anthem for the WW for the WrestleMania in quite some time because Vince didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Vince was always like America the Beautiful. That's it. But they had the girl Coco Jones out there singing it. You know what I'm saying? So
I love Coco Jones, bro. I
yeah,
absolutely love her. Love Coco Jones, bro.
yeah, she did her thing. So my favorite part of WrestleMania, bro, by far, and I mean by far, was the final boss, The Rock.
Yeah. So that was the to me that was the most obvious one, right? That I didn't want to just go right there,
Yeah,
but
but it
I
makes
agree
sense,
with
though.
you.
It makes sense. For one, we come from that era, right? But I think I was more impressed with the fact that The Rock took this seriously. He went through a 12-week program as far as dieting, working out. Like he posted a lot of stuff on IG. Um, but he looked like The Rock. Like he didn't look like a shell of The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like he did all the Rock moves. The only thing I ain't see him do was the pop up, which I'm not even finna trip off of that.
He's too buff. I just wonder if he could do the pop up.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He slimmed up for WrestleMania though, because he ain't as buff. He went on. He talked about his diet, bro, and he cut out a lot of carbs. He cut out a lot of he had a deficit of a lot of things that was in his diet, and you can tell because he was not as big as he was. I think what he was scared of because when he was that big the last time he wrestled, when he wrestled Cena 8 years ago,
Yeah.
he tore his uh
Yeah.
muscles off the bone, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he wanted to be that big to wrestle, but I just thought for somebody who doesn't do it on a regular basis versus Roman Reigns who does it the majority of the time, but Cody Rhodes who does it all the time, Seth Rollins who does it all the time, you know, those guys in comparison to doing what The Rock did, even Triple H was like, bro, I was in awe. It's not easy to come back for a one match and for him to be that intuitive to what the crowd was doing and how he was, Rock took, Rock, what, 50 now, and he got rock bottom through a table, bro. Like, and he said he felt good. Like he said afterwards he felt good. Like I'm just like, bro, there's some bumps you ain't taking. But so outside of that being my favorite part, I will say the other unsung hero that's probably not getting as much shine that should because they were a key element to all of WrestleMania is Seth Rollins. Like if Seth Rollins doesn't lose the world championship, right? That doesn't set up the CM Punk angle, which then doesn't set up the Damian Priest angle. And then Seth Rollins being involved with all of the bloodline stuff, including on night 2 where he came back in full shield garb and where they were able to do the angle where Roman Reigns hits him in the back, representative of him getting hit in the back 10 years ago. Like all of that to me, Seth Rollins is the unsung hero. He took 2 big L's both nights. You know what I'm saying? In order, and what was crazy is because even after the show was like trying to go off, he was still limping. So I'm like, man, is he still selling the injury, or is he for real hurt again? So that's what I'm kind of concerned with. I didn't watch Raw after Mania. I think I got it recorded. I did see The Rock and Cody Rhodes' promo on The Rock after Mania, which that was pretty dope because they set up some dope stuff. So, but yeah, those were my big moments. Seth Rollins and The Rock.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think that I think, bro, that the one thing that I do like is I like the ultimate story, right? I think that ultimately, like you can't see Cody lose on day one and then also lose on day two because then it's like I thought Cody was gonna win, but then it's like if you don't win, then what are you out here even in contention for?
It,
So
it
that
ain't.
made sense.
It's not even that. You can't make Cody lose 2 years in a row
Two
because
years in a row.
you
Get him
know
out of
when
here
he
then.
yeah, because you the thing is when he left AEW, I'm pretty sure in his contract he had to have, or not even in the contract, in the conversation, he had to be like, listen, bro, you know why I'm coming back. I am coming back to be in the main event scene. I'm not coming back to no Stardust
And
role.
card,
Yeah,
yeah.
no. I gotta be in like I was a EVP at a whole nother company. I went away and built myself up and came back as a prodigal son to basically be the man over here. So you can't have Cody lose twice, especially because tomorrow we get the documentary on what actually happened as far as why we got to, The Rock and Seth and Cody and Roman in night one and to get to the main event for night two. So yeah, all that to say, man, WrestleMania to me was great.
It was the worst moment.
The worst moment, um, let me see here, because probably, and I don't say the worst moment, but definitely the match that I didn't really care to watch was the Rey Mysterio and them match. uh Andrade, and they had Jason Kelsey come in there and with Dom and all of that. You know, okay.
And listen, I think what was funny is that so because I haven't been watching Raw like that, right? I saw
Yeah.
that yesterday when Dom got up there. And so when they all the judgment day is out there, right? And it's just the ones who don't have belts, right? So
JD.
Rhea Ripley isn't up there, and Damian Priest ain't up there, right? So the homie was up there talking. What's my boy? Finn Balor's up there talking. So Finn Balor's talking, and he finally gives it on over to Dom, though, bro. And I think it's hilarious that they boo him so bad. Like he couldn't get it where it reminded me of the old Vicky Guerrero booing though, man. And so he's talking the whole time, and you can barely hear what he said at all. I thought that was hilarious. I think the worst to me, the driest of dry spots, definitely was the Usos match, though, bro.
Yeah, I didn't
It
even
was so
yeah. And they
it
had
was so
now,
corny to me.
yeah, they had 11 minutes and they did not utilize them 11 minutes, bro.
None.
It especially I think the letdown for me, not necessarily even the match, it was because you already had the bloodline story built into this. But these two, before the storyline of the bloodline, had talked about their pinnacle moment for them would be for them to wrestle one another at WrestleMania. They
Yeah.
got that opportunity and it was just womp womp. Like I
It
was
was
so
nothing.
disappointed. And I
Nothing
love the
very
Usos,
highlight.
bro.
Just saying.
Yes.
Nothing memorable whatsoever.
It was just a bunch of super kicks, right? And then you got Jimmy out here like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," and then Jay like, it
I
was
do
so
like, you know what, though? I'm gonna tell you this. I do like that they gave people the opportunity to finally have their moment. So, like
yeah.
Sami Zayn finally having his moment, R-Truth finally having his moment,
I
right?
love the
And then
R
even
Truth
with
thing.
the Usos, brother, yeah, even with the Usos, them having that particular moment. I think Bailey, I don't know that she's necessarily won on
She
that
did,
level. Yeah,
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 she won, but I don't know that in the past that she won on
right.
that level.
Well, even still though, right? Even Drew McIntyre, the last time Drew won, it was in front of no fans. He beat Brock Lesnar for the belt, so they at least gave him that. Even though the storyline obviously is for Damian Priest to get it, but the fact that he got to win it in front of fans, I thought that was dope because it was still a nod. Like, look,
By the
we're gonna
way,
take care of you.
I'm by the way, man, I'm not mad. Like I do like that. Let's just say as a wrestling fan, I'm
Mhm.
not mad that Seth Rollins is no longer the champion. I think that I'm tired of seeing some of the same old people with the belts.
Well, my thing is that I think Steph is seriously hurt. Like I said, I can't confirm that. I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but I think he was planning to take some time off anyway after WrestleMania because even Becky was sick. Becky had 102 temp before her match with Rhea Ripley. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
them two are in contract negotiations with the WWE right now anyway. I don't see them leaving going anywhere, but I think they were going to take some time off anyway because they've been going so hard anyway. But ultimately though, man, like I said, I think WrestleMania was dope. It was one of those spectacles. It was like one of those like real hot buzzwords going into the weekend, especially with everything The Rock, Cody, Seth, and Roman had been setting up for everything, them going on ESPN, Pat McAfee and all of those people and just getting everybody hyped up. Even and I'm gonna even say this, right? Even the CM Punk Ariel Hawani interview that he did was still great fire for WrestleMania because you know we knew Punk kind of said it in that interview, like, bro, I'm ready to go. Like they are trying to keep me from myself. So the fact that him and Scott Psychopath is about to get into their program, I think is super dope. Like I'm excited for that. I'm CM Punk looked genuinely happy for Cody at the end of it, man. Which I thought that whole thing and him bringing out Triple H and everybody at the end of that, like you could tell the company was really like, nah, we got the skyrocket on this dude's back. But what I was bringing up about the Raw after Mania, so The Rock basically did this. Him and Cody did this angle where he was like, "Yo, he said, listen, I salute you. You did your thing. You finished your story. Whoop de whoop." And so he was like, I'm a collector of belts. And he said, I've held all of the titles, but I haven't held that one. He said, can I hold it? And so Cody just, the crowd is like, don't do it, don't do it. And Cody was like, I'll let you hold mine if you let me hold yours. So he gave him the People's Champion belt. Rock picks it up. He's kind of holding it, puts it on his shoulder, poses for a minute. He was like, looks kind of nice. So he gives it back, and the crowd is like, this is awkward. This is awkward. Somebody from the crowd said, your belt is fake. And The Rock said, nah, 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 nah. My belt ain't fake. My belt is from Muhammad Ali's widow. And we had this whole thing where I asked him, could I have the name of the people's champion? He blessed me with it. And she gave me this at the Hall of Fame. So, nah, this belt ain't fake. And so he gives Cody something. He said, don't break my heart again. He said, you don't even have to open your hand. You know what that is. And he sticks it in his pocket. The fact, and he said, look, your story is over with Roman. He said, but because you beat him in the center of the ring, 1, 2, 3. He said, but your story with me is just beginning. Because just 24 hours before that, I beat you in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Super, super cold. Like, bro, they already setting it up for The Rock and Cody, bro. And I just them two is they got great chemistry. And I'm low key, if I'm Roman, I'm a little mad that was like that be more people wanted to see Cody and Rock than they did want to see Cody versus Roman.
I think it's because here's one thing about it. I think that people are getting tired of only seeing Roman part time. So it's like if you're only gonna see him part time, and I've seen you for 3 years for part time, though. I'm not missing nothing.
Yeah, but I mean The Rock is part-time. I mean, The Rock ain't been there for eight
Yeah, but
years.
still, I can see another person part time. I'm tired of it. I don't blame him. I'm tired of it. Like I said, I'm tired of seeing the same people with the belts.
Yeah. Well, look, man, we can go from the fake beef to WWE and go straight into the real beef, bro. What we doing with this boy young J. Cole out here, man?
I thought you was gonna be talking about. I thought you was gonna be talking about JT, City Girls, and Glorilla.
I
That
didn't see
team.
that one.
Listen,
I saw JT in Young Miami. I ain't seen nothing about the Glorilla. I don't know nothing about
I'm gonna
that one.
keep it a stack with you, bro. Here's the thing about it. for me, from a hip hop perspective, and this is just from the battle aspect of it. After J. Cole apologized to Kendrick, I'm more impressed with the beat, and they haven't even said anything on. So apparently, I think that it's implied that when Glorilla came back on the Yeah Glow, when she was like slapping rap chicks and making bail, oh yeah, Glow. I think that some people were talking about she was talking about JT. But anywho, though, I think that the thing that's crazy to me is that okay, I'm trying to process this J. Cole apology because he got in front of his concert,
Yeah.
and I believe his tour 72 hours after his album comes out and apologizes to Kendrick, right? And so this is the thing that makes me a little confused by that, because I thought that I remember hearing a story that Kendrick and that Cole helped Dre kind of find Kendrick. Like, yo, there's this kid out in Compton that's dope. You should be blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if outside of the cameras, if Kendrick and Cole are cool like that. I don't know that they're like me and you, right? How
Did,
cool they are.
did you see the Big Boy interview thing that I sent you?
No.
Let me play that. Let me, because I don't mean to cut you off, but I am kind of in line with you on certain aspects as far as that. I need to know their relationship in order for me to know whether I can forgive that, because it just, that just seems to, let me see here. All right. This
I
is what
got
I'm
my
saying.
thoughts on it.
Okay.
Out of the cats now, like the J. Coles of the world or the
Yeah.
Drakes of the world. Where are you guys at now?
Same place, same place. It's all love
I
from
heard
the
that.
moment I did the verse to after the verse. You know what I mean? I think hip hop is a sport, so you're gonna have these little spits and spats, and it's all good because personally, I respect these dudes as as people. You know what I mean? So outside of that, it's really nothing.
Specifically, where are you at, like with the J. Cole? Specifically, where are you at with a Drake or so on and so forth?
I respect their music
I heard that.
for sure. I respect them as individuals and creators, and I think what the media tried to do is insane, because they take these black, young brothers and really try to clash it and make bump heads, and that's not right.
Right,
That's how I look at it. I think it's not right. And I think that's why it's great to really show people how we support one another, because
Out of the cats now, like the J.
I don't like that either, though, to be honest with you. So for me, the whole thing just seems to be whack. Now, this is the thing. The whole thing to me is whack because you can't necessarily say, "Oh, this is in the name of hip hop being competitive. It's a sport," and then say, "Oh, they're trying to pit us against each other." Whatever. That's whack. Either way, for me, I look at it like this, though, bro. All right. If you're telling me that J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are like me and you, that type, me and PBR, me and Rocky, and for some reason there's this misunderstanding, and Rocky just comes out and has some fire verse. He flaming me on a verse. Part of me would almost feel like I have to respond back. The hip hop head of me says I have to respond back. But at the same time, part of me would also feel like, well, did Rocky give me the heads up? Right? Did I catch this straight? Was this really a stray? Did I catch this and he didn't give me no forewarning? Because if me and Rocky are like how I think me and Rocky are, right? He would have told me this was coming, right? That to me tells me that no, this isn't personal. Let's just see who's better with the bars, right? So the fact that it doesn't sound like that, and maybe Cole took it that way. When you say, "Oh yeah, it was just kind of eating me alive. I want to apologize. I got out of character, whatever, whatever." I mean, I guess that kind of explains the reason why I wasn't so wowed away by Cole's response on the song. You got to do something, but at the same time, I'm gonna tell you this: I respect that I respect the that he has the wherewithal and the constraint to say, I'm not gonna just jump out the window and wig on my dude. I owe hip hop a response, but at the same time, though, Ace, I'm gonna tell you this: if there is a big three, like people say there is, and if there's a solid big three, the apology automatically made Cole 3. He is no. I don't want to hear nobody say he's 2, 1, nothing. He is not 1.
How can you put him automatically at 3 when you got somebody who was also called out that ain't even responded?
Well, like this, at least Drake hasn't responded yet, but he didn't put something out and apologize. Because to me, it's like you put something out there, right? And now something like this. You put something out there as part of your album. So now it's out there for perpetuity, right? It's forever. It would be one thing if you put out your album and then separately put this on out there. You could scale back. You could say, no, I'm gonna delete this off of everything or whatever, right? But I think that I'm gonna set Drake aside for now. The clock is still on Drake, right? But at the same time, if Drake doesn't respond, to me, it's gonna look like he didn't want no part of that smoke. But the fact that Cole responded and then apologized, tell me that he really didn't want to say nothing, but he had the pressure. So it's like I gained respect by him at least saying that, but I lost an equal amount of respect for him apologizing. So it's like for the same respect as a man that I would have for him to say, I was foul on that. That's my man. So I'm gonna scale. I'm gonna apologize. I get that. But at the same time, the hip hop fan in me, separately from man to man respect, it's equal. So while I may, as a man, respect what you hear, my fanhood respect for you drop equally amount. So if I was it would be like if I was on you at a 7, as a man, you saying that I might respect you and that might bump you up an 8. But as a hip hop fan, they dropped you to a 6. Right. And not to say that he's a 6. I'm just saying wherever my respect level from him dropped by a point. But my man to man respect may have went up by a point.
Okay. I had to, you and I, pulling the curtain back. We've obviously talked about this off camera. I had time to process, right? And I've been listening to a lot of different people's perspectives on it. I think anybody who is upset from the hip hop standpoint is well within their right to be upset because of the fact this was an opportunity to get some of the best bars from the best people, right? It's almost like for us when we watch the Lakers versus Golden State or the Lakers versus the Suns. Do you think LeBron is fixing to take mercy if he got a chance to go and dunk on KD? Right? We friends after the game, bro. Like
Right.
during the game, you are my mortal enemy. You know what I'm saying? Russ ain't taking no plays off. I don't care who he play, and he got a bunch of friends in the league. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like I said, do you think Steph Curry is gonna take it easy if he's playing against LeBron or taking it easy on Dame or no, or if he's playing against Tatum? No, they trying to bust each other's head in the game. We can be friends after the game, and I think that's what it is with this. Like, obviously, there are gonna be some stupid people that if you a cold head, you gonna be trying. If Kendrick came to Carolinas, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna be looking for him. Like, but this, like most people who wanted this wanted the rap version of it. They didn't want no violent part of it. They wanted
Right. Because I don't look at neither one of these like street dudes. That's the reason why I was excited about it.
100%, which is again why it, like when Kendrick says this is a sport, I likened it to basketball. I don't think LeBron is taking it easy on PG. I don't think LeBron is taking it easy on Draymond and they cool. Like I'm just saying, like in the context of sports, I'm busting your head. I mean, you play in a basketball league and you have your dudes that you play with on a team, on a weekly basis. But if y'all go to Briscoe and play each other, if y'all on opposite teams, you're not gonna take it easy on your boy just because he
trying to go ham on him.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the way I look at it. So for me, I'm disappointed on the aspect of what we could have gotten from this, but I'm also with you on the respect aspect of at the end of the day, it's my boy. I threw some light jabs, you know what I'm saying? And all in this like I think there's a difference between an explanation versus the apology. I think that's where it is. It's the apology part of it.
And you could have just
Because-
said, if you didn't apologize,
yeah,
you would have been safe. If you would have said, nah, that ain't even my favorite song on there. I was just, I actually got out of character. But the minute that you said, I apologize, now listen, you know what that tells me, bro? So the reason why I say that it knocks you down to three, right? If there is a big three, like we say, because you just said that you the big three, it's the big three. You Muhammad Ali, you feel like Muhammad Ali. So now it's like, all right, you when you said that, it was just rap, it was bars, right? Because did you really feel like that? Because if I'm Kendrick, the competitor may say, "Oh, you saying you better than me, right?" So did
yeah.
you really feel like that, or was you just what did it say? It made for a good song. It made for a good rap. You kill it. I just think that, like, to me, I respected that on a track with Drake, who people regard as the guy, that you said, no, I'm the guy. So I like when people say I'm the best, I'm the number one. Like, so, and not just that. I'm going to say the competitor in me likes it even more when you say it on a song with other people, right? But it's like now you kind of got me thinking like that bar doesn't seem as hard to me no more.
Well, it's not even so much that he said, I apologize. That man said he was losing sleep over it, bro.
Come on, man. Like, listen, Ace, let me tell you this. If you came out with a song and you
Yeah.
said something slick about me, though, bro, something slick about me, and if I was losing sleep, right? It was because, oh man, I would have said some of the greasy, it would have been the lowest of low blows to where people would have been like, damn, Charlie, you really, you gonna go there on your man's like it would be the lowest of lows. And so that's losing sleep because I would have been like, yo, man, I can't I that because this is my thing. That's again, I can't be like say what I'm gonna say about all that kind of stuff. Be like, yeah, yeah. So what we doing for Charlie's birthday, man? Oh, how was Deuce's game today, right? How Tari doing on the team? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that.
but
I don't.
I think
If
I
you
think
tell me
that
that's that personal,
right, but I also think that conversation could be had if this was a part of it. Like if if I called you and say, "Yo, bro, I heard the first person shooting. I'm letting y'all know that verse coming out tomorrow. Y'all be prepared." Like that's cool to
facts.
me. Yeah. So
That's
then it's
cool.
like right. So then it's like, all right, it's fair game. I'm gonna come at you, but because like I said, it's no secret that J. Cole and Kendrick were supposed to do a project together. So you gotta think for some level, they gotta have some sort of respect, like bigger than just music respect.
If we broke bread together, bro,
Mhm.
then that says something to me. I don't break bread with any old person though, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta be like that. So I don't know, man. I mean, maybe they are cool like that, and we just don't know.
Okay, last question in a reference to this, and then we can move on. Big Sean came out with a freestyle. What, where do you see Big Sean in the big three conversation? Did you even hear the freestyle?
Listen, I heard it. I heard it. Okay, listen. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy. I admittedly have never been the biggest Big Sean fan. And I remember when people were putting him as peers to Drake, Cole, and Kendrick when they first came out. And here's where to me, I never heard a Big Sean verse and said, whoo, let me return that back. Let me spin that back. And then not just that, every time I've ever heard him on a song with anybody else, right? He gets out rapped very easily. And I think that to me, when it comes to Big Sean, I think that his cadence and his rap voice, his tone is very monotone to where he might say a bunch of stuff that could be dope, but somebody else who got just a little bit more personality in their raps will come through and say something that might not even be half as good lyrically, but it just outshines him. And I think Big Sean makes great radio music, right? But I think that when you talk about a body of work, I've never been that blown away by him to think that he was on that level. So then when you come back years later, after people basically say you kind of been falling off because you fell back, it's too late for that now, though, bro. Like you should have dropped that 5 years ago.
Did you watch his Tiny Desk?
I did just for the sake of being a hip hop fan. Like I said, he's like I've just never been from day one though, bro. I never bought into like this is my thing. Here's a perfect example. When Big Sean was at his peak, I never thought he was better than 2 Chainz, who was also at his peak at the same time. I think they started releasing 2 Chainz as 2 Chainz, not Titty Boy, but 2 Chainz as 2 Chainz was popping right around the same time Big Sean was. And I always thought that 2 Chainz was miles better though. So I don't know, man. So his response, I watched it, and yeah, you can tell he can rap. You know what I'm saying? But if you tell me that you put that out there, I think Kendrick can put something out there tomorrow that would just wipe ass with that.
Okay.
If I had to give it slashes, 3 out of 5 slashes, bro.
That's halfway there.
Straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight. It wasn't whack, but it wasn't. Nah.
So if you're rating all three, right, from the Cole Drake verse and then K Dot's verse to Big Sean, where
Big
they at?
Sean's on the lower end. Big Sean is 3.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Yeah. And you know what? The more I'm watching this, the more I'm thinking that Drake isn't gonna respond, bro.
I mean, is he allowed to respond after not choosing to respond to
He
Pusha?
better respond, bro. He better respond, bro. He better respond,
He could
bro.
be forgiven
Hey,
for the Pusha verse if he respond, right?
listen, bro. If Drake does not respond, I think Drake's resume to me, the only stain on his resume to me is not responding properly to the Pusha T, right? He's still gonna be Drake, right? He isn't gonna lose the ability to put out. He got the formula down for the putting out the hits, right? So he's still gonna be Drake. But you remember how we got on here and the Pizza Man son was like Drake isn't hip hop. People who feel that way is gonna have more reason to say because if you are, you say something, bro. So yeah, Drake can say I'm the bigger artist. I don't have to say something. But this is somebody who people say is a peer of yours, bro. You got to say something.
Yeah. What else on the agenda, bro?
Did you watch the women's and men's championships?
I watched the women's game and I browsed at the men's game, meaning that I was really invested to see who was actually, actively gonna win the girls' game. Whereas the men's game, it was like, I had it on in the background. Don't really know any of the players. Didn't really have a dog in the fight, but I kind of wanted Purdue to win just because like I didn't it like even when they lost, it was just like, okay, cool. You know, I knew my boys was watching it, so it was kind of one of those I wanted to know so that I could talk to them about it, and we ain't even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was very much interested in the girls' game. Now, I do have a question though, right? Because for the girls' game, Obviously Iowa lost, which means that South Carolina won, who also went undefeated, who's also, I think, won 3 of the last 4 or whatever, something like that.
3 out of 7.
Why is the conversation still about Caitlin Clark?
So you know what I think, bro? I think that the reason why it's about Caitlin Clark is because I do think that okay, so very much how you see someone transcend basketball, right? Push
Mhm.
basketball. I think the folklore of her and her game is something that we've never. If realistically, here's the thing about it. If you think about it, realistically, we've seen outside of one player for South Carolina. I'm gonna set her aside for a second, but everything that South Carolina has doing, we've seen before, right? I think that Caitlin Clark has elevated basketball for women, right? And I think that that's where people wanted to see her win because you've seen her do everything except for win the national championship, though. I'll tell you this. This is the thing I think, and so that to me was the what I thought was what people were really rooting for because she was doing something that your eye had never seen before.
Right.
With that being said, I think that the part that I would have loved to have seen, I can't wait to and this girl from South Carolina, I can't think of her name. There's a girl who plays, I think, power forward for South Carolina who dunked in the game. I think she's dunked like twice. Like if I see her dunking regularly, bro, like in games, no layups, if all her layups was dunks, then to me, that's another one of those feats that transcends basketball. It catapults women's basketball. And I don't think that, like South Carolina had the better team, top to bottom. They had all these 4 and 5 star recruits, and I don't think that Iowa did. So I think that the reason why people were rooting for Iowa is because I think that it truly felt like a David and Goliath scenario, or you had a true underdog versus a stacked roster, though, bro.
So you don't look at that as it being that we got this white girl out here doing
I
her
don't think
thing.
so.
Okay.
I
So to
don't think
me,
so.
I likened it to uh Tiger Woods making an impact on golf.
The difference, though, is Tiger's impact. It was different because golf is traditionally a white guy's sport, and he's black doing it, right? I
Right.
think that the thing is, but I think that the difference is though, is that to be quite honest with you, we've seen a Caitlin Clark, right? Like Paige Beckers was on pace before she got hurt. You had never heard of Caitlin Clark before Paige Beckers got hurt that she would be able to shoot threes like that. But listen, listen, I don't think that people understand how good Paige Beckers is. Paige Becker was a freshman, won Player of the Year, and won a national championship when she was a freshman. I think she could have left college and went to the WNBA and dominated right away. She got hurt back-to-back years, and so this is her first year back. But so I think that people haven't. I think that it's Caitlin Clark's threes, the long distance, the same way how we see Steph do it. Now everybody does it. It wouldn't surprise me if you see more and more people incorporate long threes into their game like that. So I think that that's what it is. I don't think that it's because it was like, oh, we got this white girl that's playing against a bunch of primarily black girl or black team. Listen, I think that women's basketball has since I've been alive has always been dominated by black women. So I don't think that it was a what people were like, oh, we finally got our one. We about to root for our one white girl. I think that it's just her game transcended basketball, women's basketball. That's what I think it was.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah.
What did you think of all the games and stuff?
Listen, to be honest with you, I was looking forward to what I was personally. I was rooting for South Carolina. The reason why I was rooting for South Carolina. This is gonna sound kind of silly because I think that in the grand history of basketball, I don't think that there's been very many black coaches that have won national championships, right? And while Don Staley already won one before, I was specifically rooting for her because I think she's of our culture, not our culture, but
Yeah, I know what
90s
you're saying. Yeah.
pop culture. Yeah, she's one of us. So I think that like I've been seeing Dawn Staley associated with women's basketball damn near all my life though. So I wanted her to win just from being familiar. I've met her before. Not gonna say met her, but it was like snap, that's Don Staley. And she was like, oh yeah, she seems real cool though, man. Very much like what you would see on TV though. So but no, I was rooting for South Carolina. Oddly enough, I was in the process of moving around so much so that I didn't catch but the very tail end of the game. But oddly enough, I was looking at the men's game, and I watched that one all the way through because I wanted to see what the center for Purdue actually looks like when he was playing against another 7-foot guy, though, bro, from UConn. And listen, I think that one of the biggest differences to me when it came to college, I think that even with women's basketball versus men, I think that women had the stars this year. Like I know more women faces.
Yeah.
I couldn't name you. Listen, there's in this draft in this season. I mean, even with somebody like I keep up with AAU ball, and because I keep up with AAU ball, and I keep up with high school ball, and I see who's coming out and who's going to what schools. Even with that said, the guys who are like the top 10 college players, I only know what the center for Purdue looks like, and I know what my guy from and I can't even think of his name now, but I think that the Rob Dillingham. And those are the only two that I can actually name. With that being said, though, bro, I think that the one thing that I think that's been different is that it looks like, especially like Kentucky, who had they were always the one and dones, right? And with the transfer portal changing things up, I think that you're going to see more and more teams move away from this getting the young teams. I thought that it was real dope that UConn won. I've never heard of UConn center until the postseason. They
Yeah.
got this one kid, Castle, who I never heard of until the postseason. And sure, he's probably been good and projected for quite some time. But I like that it seems like the teams are more like traditional basketball teams now, though, man, where it's not a bad thing if you're a senior to be on a team, or a junior, So not stars, superstars. I think they were even saying that this particular draft might be the weakest draft ever, though, bro.
Well, I do know the
But I
Thunder
think,
is looking at the center for UConn.
well, I can see that for depth, yeah. Because you think Chet's a center, but he ain't that kind of center, though,
Nah,
right?
nah. Chet's not really a center though. That's the whole thing. Chet is
Yeah.
a
I think
Kevin
he's more
Durant
like a,
essentially. He's a
yeah,
he a Dirk. So
yeah. No, I get it. I get it to have that kind of depth. I think it's dope. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this though. I think that while there are no true superstars, I'm not going to bet against the Oklahoma. I wouldn't bet against the Thunder nailing it. Like whoever they get is going to be a good pick. Like and not just from the past, right? But I'm just saying, I think that they have Thunder kind of guys all throughout this particular draft, where they're not the number one caliber guy, but a guy that's like 12, 13, 14 that you can turn into a good pro, though, man.
yeah, that
Yeah,
fits into a good system. Like
that fits into
nobody
the
saw
system.
nobody saw J Dub being as good as he is.
I didn't. What school did J Dub go to?
Santa Clara,
Yes, right. What about the other?
Arkansas. Jay
You,
Will,
you, you, you.
Arkansas.
Yeah. So you fan like that? I'm a basketball fan.
No. I only know that because they're a part of the
You
Thunder.
only right. That's what I'm saying. But for me, I'm a basketball fan. And while the Thunder is a team I root for, I'm not on the fanatic level that you are to where those kind of things. But that's kind of what I'm saying. I think in this draft, there'll be more guys like that available for the Thunder to pick, though, man.
Absolutely. And
Yeah, whoever
Sam
they
Presti,
pick in this round, yeah,
yeah, Sam is on it, bro. Sam be on
yeah.
it.
I think whoever they pick will make it. And listen, We talk about Trey Man all the time, bro. Trey Man was a real thing. He just didn't have the minutes. He go to the Hornets and he go and
Hooping them
do his
boys up.
thing.
He was
Poku,
hooping Thunder up, bro.
Poku
Yeah,
was over there doing this thing, and it just didn't have the minutes. And
yeah.
listen, I don't know that he ever had a lot of minutes for him like that,
He
though,
did.
bro.
He got hurt. Poku had a great 2021, right? And then when he got hurt, he just didn't. He lost his spot when he got hurt. But look, the Hornets picked up Michik. They picked up Bertans. They picked up Poku, and they picked up Trae Young. So we was basically playing against the Thunder the other night.
If I'm listen, bro, if I'm an NBA team and I see any former player who was drafted by the Thunder come on the market, I'm picking him up. It just makes sense to me. Look, I can't even think of the last flop. The last one that was just a complete, this boy ain't got no business being in the league.
Kyle Ziegler.
Singler.
Him, yeah. We
Yeah, man,
said
he didn't get
Singler.
drafted by the Thunder, did he?
He got, I don't know how we ended up with him, but we said he must know where the bodies is at because there ain't nowhere in the world he should still be with the Thunder, bro. Like I don't know of another miss that the Thunder has had outside of him.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, man. I just don't remember. I don't think he got drafted by them though, bro.
No, I don't think he did either, but some kind of way he ended
He
up
went
on
to
our
Duke
squad.
too. Yeah. He went to listen. I'm not gonna lie. At Duke, he balled out, bro.
Right, but he got in the league and scrubbed out.
Yeah, he played. He got picked up by the Pistons, though, bro.
Yeah. So, kind of one of the last stories, unless you got something else, bro. Jonathan Majors. He avoids jail time, and of course, the case still isn't over because I understand, Grace Jabari. She was not happy that he's not having any jail time. He has to attend a class for a year. He's been in therapy, so the judge wants him to keep doing that. Go ahead.
I think that's great for him, right?
Mhm.
That he avoided jail time. If he truly did nothing that warranted that, I got a question for you though.
Mhm.
Okay, that it's a two-part question.
Okay.
So does this bring him back? Like you know what I'm saying? Like he lost out on a lot. Does
Yeah.
this bring
No,
him?
it doesn't bring him back because they found him guilty of something. Does this help him? Absolutely, because he avoids jail time. So now, if you put him on a project, he's available to do it, right? As long as and the classes and stuff is where he lives, so he can do all of those things. And he's not gonna get like he's gonna basically have to climb back up, right? He's gonna have to do some smaller roles in some not as big films. He don't have to go to Tubi yet, but
He gonna do the Nicolas Cage, do he?
nah. He don't have to do nothing like that, but he's definitely gonna have to take some like somebody like, and I'm just throwing his name out there because I like maybe Tyler Perry, Will Packer, somebody from our side is gonna have to pick him up before somebody else is going to be willing to give him that opportunity. Like, shoot, 50 can throw him in something. You know what I'm saying? He just needs to get something under his belt. Do a Netflix movie. He
And
needs.
Megan Good ain't left. Megan Good hasn't rolled out.
Nope. She even
And
had
she's
him
still
on.
looking fine.
Yep. She had
Every
him,
time I see her.
and she dressing him better too.
Yes. Here's the
So
question.
no.
Here's the second part for that. Second
Okay.
part for that is this. Okay. So in light of, I thought about this because um King Combs
Yeah.
had recently got some charges that were brought up on him or whatever. And thinking about even Diddy to some degree, right? So what if after all of this stuff that Diddy, just like Jonathan Majors, is either found to be innocent or something so minor, right, that it doesn't warrant jail time. Like if Jonathan Majors can bounce back, and even though Diddy had the settlement with Cassie, if in a court of law he is not found to have been guilty of anything so egregious that it warrants jail time, can Diddy bounce back if Jonathan Majors can?
He 100% can bounce back. This is what I've been saying even before we got this deep, right? Diddy can bounce back with a win. The problem is ain't nobody partying with Diddy no more. You know what I'm saying? Now, Diddy is still going to be able to have parties, and the people who are still trying to get on are going to go to these parties. But I'm saying celebrities aren't going to be caught at these parties. The thing is Diddy, all Diddy has to do is win. The jokes are still going to come, but those jokes have always been there. We've always heard stuff about Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So for that, I think that Diddy just has to put out some fire music. If Ye can come back from all the stuff he had going on with calling out the Jewish community, this, that, and the other, there's no way. Now, the thing, no. Let me explain.
Speak on that.
Okay. The Ezra Miller thing is different because the movie was already shot. The movie was already done. And obviously, the fans showed their disdain for Ezra Miller with the box office. People did not show up for the Flash movie. Now, I saw the Flash.
It was a good, the Flash was good.
Yeah, I saw the Flash movie because I'm a fan of DC, right? The movie was already shot. The dude was already in, treatment and this, that, and the other. It wasn't about Ezra Miller. It was the fact that this is one of the closing movies that's gonna be for the DCEU as we know it because they started new, right? I like the Flash too. I didn't have an issue with it. But I'm also one of those people that can separate art from the person. Like I can still listen to an R. Kelly album and it don't bother me, but I understand why people that choose not to, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? I can still watch the Cosby Show and not affect me. You see what I'm saying? I can separate artists from the real person. Like I know R. Kelly, I don't know Robert. You know what I'm saying?
I think to be honest with you, I think that Diddy, I don't know how. So this is what I think. I think that Diddy can make a comeback, but it would have to be. Here's what I think that it would have to be. Unfortunately, because I think that Diddy has always been associated with music and the music scene, right, and entertainment. You think about it, right? Um, I don't know. I mean, you think the people have done worse things than what we know as facts for Diddy.
Yes.
Okay, here's what I'm saying. This is my only thing. If Steven Tyler has done everything that we know to be a fact, and Steven Tyler ends up being on American Idol as a judge at his peak of popularity, given everything that we know to be a fact about him, then I don't see how Diddy, if found innocent, right, or if these are deemed minor infractions, minor like Jonathan Majors, no jail time, might have to pay a fine, whatever. If Diddy does no jail time on it, then yes, I think that he could bounce back.
He just has to win, bro. Listen, that's it. If Diddy wins, people will forgive him. The thing is that, like I said, nothing we have heard outside of maybe the underage aspect of stuff that we've heard allegedly, right? There's nothing else that we heard that we haven't heard before. We've heard about Diddy parties all before. It's not like we haven't heard about Diddy parties. That's always been a thing. That's always been a joke. It's just now it's more reality because we're hearing so much more about it, right? But the thing is, if he's not found guilty in the court of law, he's gonna be guilty with the court of public opinion. That's just not gonna change. The jokes are always gonna be there. But if he puts out some fire music, like I said, if Kanye can talk about a whole Jewish community, and people are still waiting for that next yay or putting up, still wearing Yeezys. Diddy will be fine as long as he ain't found guilty in court, bro.
I think
And here's the other thing, and I'll let you finish. It depends on what even if he was found guilty in court, it depends on what he's found guilty of.
facts. I think like so. This is what I think. I think that if so, yeah.
Because you
I
look at
think that
you look at Jonathan Majors, right? He wasn't found guilty of the big stuff. They found him guilty on these two little bitty minor things where everybody's like, "Come on, bro!" Like we watch him run away from this white girl, and he's still guilty. Like, come on, man.
yeah. Now, see if and listen, I'm not by any means making it seem like Diddy is a victim here at all. But we're just saying, hypothetically speaking,
Right,
victim or not, if he is found to be innocent and does no jail time,
right.
I think that he can now. Here's the thing about it. I don't know how he gets reintegrated into the community like that.
It's like I said, he has to go back to what got him famous, music. If he comes in, drops some fire records, does some and finally get some features back on some stuff, that pops off. That's all
I
it's
think
going
there are people who still. I think that there are some people who musically would still rock with him.
they're people that don't have nothing to lose, right? People like if unfortunately, you know, people's opinions about Chris Brown just aren't gonna change. Whatever, like if you like Chris, you're gonna rock with Chris. So if Chris did a song with Diddy, that's not really gonna change anything.
Let me ask you something.
What's up?
If Diddy is found to be innocent, right, and does no jail time, and Diddy reaches out and says, "Ace Kennedy, though, man, I've been following you. I think your last project is underrated, though, bro. And I would absolutely love nothing more than to get you in the studio, man. Let's cut some records, though, bro. Would you be down to work with
I'm flying with Diddy today.
me?" Listen, Ace Kennedy. Listen.
You gonna be
Keep
you
it
gonna
1,000.
take that.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, man. I would have to ride with you on that one, bro. That way, listen, that way you and I know what happened. Right.
Right.
So it ain't like a one-sided thing. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna slide out here with my partner and we gonna be straight though, bro. Nah, we cool out here. Yeah, so I'm just saying though, man. If Diddy said I'm gonna send a jet for you though, bro. Come on out here, man.
I'm gonna be
Come on out to LA.
you gonna see me all on Instagram on the Love Jet, bro.
Oh my God.
I'm flying brother love, bro. Like I said, and again, we speculating and joking, but seriously though, in the event that he is found innocent in the court of law, then for him, he will be fine as long as he starts winning. I mean, you looked at how people, God rest his soul, turned on Kobe with his little incident. Once the Lakers started winning,
and he would have been more popular than after.
Right,
He became
right.
more popular to me.
Right. 100%. Once people, I'm telling you, when you start winning, people just forget, especially if you somebody that they sort of cared about to begin with. You know what I'm saying? All is forgiven. Yeah.
Man.
What else you got, bro?
That's all I got, bro. That's all
All
I
right.
got. What you got?
It was a good show today, bro. Good show.
And yeah, absolutely. Yo, so the funny thing is, let me tell you this real quick. Shout out to the boy PPR though, bro. Listen, Sunday, he pulled on up, was like, yo, I'm gonna hop in the lab. I'm trying to go ahead and get my daughter to record some stuff though, right? Record a chorus for me though, bro. Completely floored that apparently she can sing, and I just didn't know this whole entire time. And not just that she could sing. She comes into the session and not 30 minutes tops, right? From the very first time she goes out here though, bro, kills it. I'm talking about like, listen, I had to go through, and I only didn't use 2 tracks that she had, and those are only because those are the first ones. Once I heard her actually come the third time around,
Yeah.
and she put a little sting on it, I was like, are we gonna do all of them like that?
Yeah.
Now, incredible. And so listen, shout out to the boy PB. I actually had, it was one of the, I had goosebumps mixing this particular song though, man. And every time I hear it in the studio though, man, it's incredible vocals though, man. But completely blown away though, bro. Golly.
Yeah.
So I'm back in the studio mixing this week though, man. That's what I got on deck. What about you?
Man, I am I gotta re-record some songs. I'm getting ready. I got the April shower show coming up. I think April 27th, somewhere along in there. Don't have the flyer yet. But the April shower show is coming. So I'm gonna re-record because I'm doing some new stuff out there. So I'm excited about that. Other than that, man, I'm gonna get these files sent over to you so that maybe if I send you your files, you'll send me mine, and we can go from there.
You know what's funny? I do owe you that.
For 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. It got parked. I've been zoning.
I know it.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull that on up tonight. I'm gonna tap
I'm
into
like,
today.
he
I
told
got
me
you.
about this lo-fi sound that he done did for this track. I'm sitting up here waiting and ain't heard it yet.
Oh man, yeah. It sounds dope too, by the way. Yeah. At
Well,
least when
I
you
don't
get it,
know
you
it.
gonna like it.
All
Yeah,
right.
when you get it, you gonna like it.
Well, look, man, we appreciate y'all for joining the Slash Brothers all the way from ATL to OKC. We are the Slash Brothers. Join us every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. You know what it is. Them K Rules is over there. And we out.
If you smell
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
sucker? It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast.